Supply of goods or services, anything other than goods or services does not attract GST. Who are called as related person, officer, director, business legally recognized, employer or employee, person holds at least 25%. Alcoholic consumption, human consumption will not come under GST. There is already whatever tax is applied for that will continue. Split always, because whatever tax collected within the state, half will go to central government, half will come to state government. A warm welcome to one and all. This is your Adarsh sir, lecturing Vidhyaashram First Grade College, the Temple of Excellence. We are done with Unit 1 and Unit 2. As you know that Unit 1 and Unit 2, it is all about the theory topic. In the Unit 1, you learned about the taxation, direct as well as indirect tax. Unit 2, it is all about the GST and the definitions under GST. Your unit number 3, it talks about the time, place and value of supply. As I told you, in your question paper, the most of the Part A, Part B and Part C, which are covered with the time of supply, value of supply and place of supply. You will get theory as well as practical questions on this particular topic. So, the agenda for this today's session, first, we will go with the supply, taxable supply, supply in the taxable territory, taxable person under GST, transaction between related person. So already we have learned who are called as related person. As I told you in the previous session, related person, like if you are selling a product to your manager, to your director, employer, employee or partners of your company, those are called as related person transaction. Then supply of goods via agent. Agent also already we have learned actually, the person who works for commission, we call it as agent. Transaction which are treated neither as supply of goods or supply of services. Any agricultural goods we don't consider as taxable supply. Yeah. Now, along with that, we'll do some problems on this. The practical problems will be on composite and mixed supply. Already I explained you what is composite and what is mixed supply. Composite, always remember, along with vehicle. For example, you purchase a car. Along with car, what they will give? They will give insurance. They will give accessories. These are called as composite supply. Road tax, your insurance, everything is part of your vehicle price. That is called composite supply. Mixed supply, as I told you, in the gift item, what will be there? Many items. Like for example, you got a bonus for Diwali. On that, what they will give? In a basket, they will give you chocolates, snacks, dry fruits, all put together. Even you can buy fruits separately, dry fruits separately, even chocolates separately, but they will give it in a single box. That we call it as mixed supply. Then composition levy under GST, specified rates for composition levy. We'll do one small problem on composition tax. Then who is eligible to register under GST? Already we have learned actually who can eligible. There is a threshold limit is there. About 20 lakh your turnover is there, means you are supposed to register for GST. The documents required for GST registration, the benefits, format for computation of value of supply. Last one, problems on value of supply. This is very important for 15 marks. Most of the topics in this will cover almost 60% of your question paper. The first one, supply. It is very simple. From the manufacturer, from the seller, the goods transferred to the customer, we call it as supply. Now, in this, the taxable event in GST is supply of goods or services or both. Various taxable events like manufacture, sale, services, purchase entry, territory of state, etc. have been done away with the favor of just one event. That is called supply. Your 2-mark question, they will ask you, what do you mean by supply? The Constitution defined goods and service tax as any tax on supply of goods or services are both except for taxes on the supply of the alcoholic liquor for human consumption. As I told you earlier, alcoholic consumption, human consumption will not come under GST. There is already whatever tax is applied for that, that will continue. Supply, the continuation for that meaning. So meaning, as I told you, it is only for 2 marks. Just for your reference, you can read this. Supply of goods or services, anything other than goods or services does not attract GST. As I told you, in the supply, what will come? All the taxes will not be part of your supply. Then, supply should be made for the consideration. Consideration means what? Money. So, is there any shop they will give it free? No, you have to pay for that and you have to buy. Then, supply should be made in the course of furtherance of business. Supply, it is a part of your business. Should be made by taxable person. Supply should be a taxable supply. Supply should be made within the taxable territory. See, Mysuru to Bangalore, if you supply some goods, Mysuru also in taxable territory, Bangalore also in taxable territory. Next one. So continuation for supply, as I told you, these 6 parameters like the previous one, these 6 parameters must fulfill to treat this goods or transaction as supply. So this is also your theory part. And taxable supply, as I told you, those 6 parameters it fulfilled means we call it as supply. The next one, after you're learning this, supply in the taxable territory. For a supply to attract GST, the place of supply should be in India, except for the state of Jammu Kashmir. Jammu Kashmir, again, we have a different calculation. That's why we don't consider Jammu Kashmir for supply. And so, within India, any sales or purchases happens, we treat it as supply. Next one, supply in the taxable territory. The same thing, they have explained the theory part. SEZ, remember what is SEZ? Special Economic Zone. Any trade happens with Special Economic Zone, we call it as exempted transaction. Exempted means we don't charge tax on that. I'll tell you what is SEZ, Special Economic Zone. For example, there is a place XYZ. In this place, there is no trading activities are happening. There is a backward area, backward place. Then the Indian government wants to improve. Government wants to highlight this place. How they can highlight? Government will give them an offer. You start a business. Up to 5 years, there is no tax. You can get a loan with less interest. You will get all the facilities for less price. The land will be given free of cost. The subsidy will be given on purchase of raw material. All the facilities are given to this particular place. The reason is what? In the next 5 years, this place must be developed place. Hope you are clear. If you give everything free of cost, everything in discounted price, all the subsidies, usually what happens? Many investors will be interested to invest in this particular place. Hope you are clear. That is the logic actually. This area for next 5 years until the government supports, we call it as Special Economic Zone. Whatever profit they earn for the first 1 or 2 years, that will be zero tax. Later, very nominal percentage will be calculated for them. Hope you are clear. That place we call it as Special Economic Zone. The next one, taxable person under GST. A taxable person under GST is a person who carries on any business at any place in India, who is registered or required to be registered under the GST Act. Any person who engages in economic activity, including trade and commerce, is treated as taxable person. For example, you are buying and selling of goods, you are called as taxable person. And whatever buying and selling of goods, the goods is a taxable goods, then only you will be treated as the taxable person. Person here includes individuals, HUF, company, firm, LLP, AOP, BOI. So these people, meaning of person. Any corporation or government companies also part of body corporate. Already we have learned actually the definition. Who is person? The same definition you can apply for this. Transaction traded as supply under GST even made without consideration. There are few transactions are there, consideration is not there, but as per the rule, as per the GST, what is the rule? There must be certain consideration, but some exceptions are there. Without consideration also we treat this as sale. Now, transaction between related person and other activity of Schedule 1 under the CGST Act will be treated as supply even if made without any consideration. See, any transaction, already I have explained you who are the related party. If you are selling goods to your manager, your partner, employee, employer within the premises who have interest on that particular company, then that will be called as your supply even made without consideration in case of between related person. That will be called as related person. This article deals with transaction between related person and other such activity that are treated as supply under the GST even if made without consideration. GST will be applicable to this transaction. See, even though you are your own manager, you are the owner of some XYZ company, you are purchasing your own product. Will you pay money for that? Obviously, you will not pay money. So, if you buy yourself means government will not get tax. Why? Because you bought for zero price. What government will get? That is the reason. That is also taxable under GST. They will take a market price. Then the next one, transaction between related person. Transaction between related parties are of special importance under any law as the pricing methodology and arriving at them are challenging. When parties are related, the prices are controlled and they would not sometimes be the prices that would have otherwise been charged had the transaction taken place between unrelated parties. Now always it will go with market price to calculate GST. The next one, transaction between related parties. Who are the related parties? Already explained you. Officer or director, business legally recognized by partners, and employer or employee, person who hold at least 25% of shares. These people are called as related person. Your 2-mark question, who are called as related person? Officer, director, business legally recognized, employer or employee, person holds at least 25%. These people are treated as related person. Next, transaction between related person. No need to read much actually. These are for your reference. You can read it once. Supply of goods via agent. Agent, already I told you, agent means what? Who is called as, who works for what? Commission. Now, by a principal to his agent, and agent will supply them on behalf of the principal. Principal means who owner of that particular goods, we call it as principal. Who sells goods? The principal cannot go to all the places. Like you have a branch in Maharashtra. Can you go all the places? Being a owner, you can't go to all the states in India. That's why you appoint one agent in one particular state. So who can sell on behalf of you? Those are called as agent. So no need to read much about this because it is all theory part. 1 or 2 marks you can expect on this particular topic. So this one, transaction which are treated either as supply of goods nor supply of services. There are few transactions are there. You cannot call it as supply. Which are those? Services provided by employee to the employer. See, I am a worker, I am working for my owner. That is not a supply. Services provided by any court or tribunal established by any law for the time being in force. The term court include district court, high court and supreme court. These are not treated as supply. Then functions performed by the members of parliament, MP. So MLA all comes under non-supply transaction. Duties performed by any person who hold post as per the provision of Constitution. Duties performed by any person as a chairperson. All these will not come under taxable supply. The next one, the same thing continues actually. Supply not treated as taxable goods. All the services related to funeral, burial and cremation, all these things will not come under your taxable supply. Composite and mixed supply, already I have explained you regarding this. We'll do one problem on this so that you will understand better. Now, mixed supply. Now, mixed supply also I have explained you actually, as I told you, under mixed supply, 3-4 items in a single box they will give you, that is called as mixed supply. Now, the next part will be called as your composition levy under GST. This one will do it at a time of problem. Now, the composition levy is an alternative method of levy of tax designed for the small taxpayer. Turnover is up to 75 lakhs. 50 lakhs in case of few states. Few states they have a limit of 50 lakhs because which are not developed states, and few states they have limit of 75. If they crosses 75 lakh, if they crosses 50 lakh, they can go for your composition scheme. Now, specified rates of composition scheme. What are the rates we have actually? Manufacturer other than manufacturer of such goods may notify by the government the rates are 2%, but in case of in this 1% from central and 1% from state, total it is 2%. In case of restaurant services, 5%. If you go to any hotel, you will find the tax. The tax will be how much? 5%. In that 5%, there is a bifurcation, 2.5% from the central and 2.5% from the state. Trader or any other supplier eligible for composition levy, 1%, 0.5 central and 0.5 from state. These are the tax rates actually. Every year it changes. Now, we'll go with problems. Now, Mr. Sambit is a trader, furnishes the following information. What are the information? Input purchase. So, input means always remember it is a purchase. On purchases, whatever tax calculated, we call it as input purchase. Input purchased intrastate. Intrastate means what? Within the state. Interstate means one state to another state. What is the GST rate? 18%. What is the value of the purchase? Is 20 lakh. Similarly, input service hired intrastate. Again, it is 12 lakh. Percentage is 12%. Capital goods purchased intrastate. Everything is intrastate, 15 lakh. And the highest percentage is in GST is 28%. Output sold intrastate, inclusive of all, GST rate is 12%. Again, it is 90 lakh. Now, this is what intrastate. Calculate GST payable and suggest the supplier whether to opt for composition scheme or not. Hope you are clear. These are the calculation. I'll show you. See, 1, 2, 3, 4. There are total 4 calculations are there. 20 lakh into 18%, 12 lakh into 12%, 15 lakh into 28%, 90 lakh into 12%. In this input service, here it is a capital goods purchased. Capital goods also we call it as goods. Then output sold. This is sold. These things are purchased. Now, see, first one, input. What is the first one? Output tax liability. Output tax liability less input tax liability. Input tax liability, I'll show you. Which are the input? You have 20 lakhs, you have 12 lakhs, you have 15 lakhs. 20, 12 and 15. See, 20 lakhs, 12 lakhs and 15 lakhs. How the tax is calculated? Intra means what? Within the state. Within the state means what will come? Your CGST and SGST will come. This is 18%. Make it 9% plus 9%. You have to split always, because whatever tax collected within the state, half will go to central government, half will come to state government. Now, 18 lakh will be split into 9 plus 9. That 12% will be 6 plus 6%. 28 will be treated as 14% plus 14%. Now see, 9%, 6%, 14%. If you calculate 1 lakh 80, 1 lakh 80, 72, 72, 2 lakh 10,000, 2 lakh 10,000. Any doubt in this? There is a normal levy scheme. We are not calculating composition scheme. Composition scheme comes here. We are doing only normal scheme. Now, come to output tax liability. Output means it is nothing but your sales. Now, output tax liability, 90 lakhs you have. So, if you calculate, I'll show you. 75 lakhs is the limit actually. So, even though it is 90 lakhs you have in this, 90 lakhs. So, maximum limit under composition scheme is how much? 75 lakhs. We calculate up to 75 lakhs and we'll see. Because it crosses 75 lakhs means you cannot come under composition scheme. I'll show you in the previous this thing. Up to 75 lakhs you have limit to opt for composition. The sales is 90 lakh but we calculate up to what? 75 lakhs to compare. 75 lakhs into 12%. We'll go with 6%. 4 lakh 24,000. 4 lakh 24,000. These are your calculation. From 4 lakh 24, this we call it as output tax. From that you minus all three. 4 lakh 24, 1 lakh 80, 72, 2 lakh 10. The total is 4 lakh 62, 424 minus 463. Your answer is minus 37,472. Similarly, the second one also, you will get from this, if you minus this, you will get 37,472. Any doubt up to this? Hope there is no doubt. Now come to composition scheme. Composition scheme, always remember, we don't take credit of purchase. Directly calculate 75 lakh and the percentage is 0.5%. I'll show you why. See, trader or any other supplier eligible for composition levy. What is the tax rate? The tax rate is 0.5%. Hope you are clear. This you should remember. Now, and if you opt for composition scheme, you cannot claim this. You cannot claim this. Now, if you opt for composition scheme, what will happen? When you opt for composition scheme, your calculation will be 75 lakh into 0.5, 37,500, 37,500. Your answer is 37,500. Hope you are clear. This is under normal levy scheme and this is under composition scheme. Hope you are clear. These are the calculations we have for your reference. Okay, you can take a screenshot. I'll go out of the screen. Problem 2. Mr. Suresh is a trader, furnishes the following information. Input purchased interest rate, it is 18%. Input service hired interest rate, it is 12%. Again, capital goods purchased 28%. The same procedure will do. Output sold is how much? 1 crore 35 lakh at 12%. So if you go for calculation, the input tax liability, the normal levy we calculate on this only, 1 crore 35 lakh into 6%, 7 lakh 64, 7 lakh 64. If you go with this one, what is the composition scheme? The same value we take and we calculate 0.5%. If you calculate 0.5%, your answer is 67,500, 67,500. So again, you can claim all the credits, like half of the percentage we have taken, 7 lakh 74. From 7 lakh 64, you minus 7 lakh 74, you will get negative of 9,849, 9,849. So if you calculate here, you cannot claim any deductions here. So your input tax rate is nil. Your final answer, whatever calculated here, the same answer you have to take it here. 67,500, 67,500. If you go with composition scheme, your tax amount will be 67,500. If you go with normal levy, it will be 9,848. You do one thing, in the previous problem, the same calculation, you do it on 90 lakh. into 6%. The same calculation, you do it on 90 lakh. You'll get the answer. That also can be done. We have done for only 75 lakh. The same problem you can do it for 90 lakh and try. Once you are done with this, so who is eligible to register under GST? As I told you, the threshold limit is 20 lakh. In case of special category state, the threshold limit will be 10 lakh. If it is above that, then they are supposed to register for GST. And the next one, once you are eligible, now who is eligible to register under GST in this? If you are a casual taxable person, non-resident, trade person, interstate, supplier of goods, any service provider liable to pay tax under the reverse charge. We call it as RCM. That is reverse charge mechanism. TDS and TCS. Tax deducted at source, tax collected at source, online data access, retrieval service provider who comes under registration for GST. The documents required for GST registration. These are the documents. Just you can make a note of this. Everywhere you need PAN card, Aadhaar card, proof of business, identity, bank account, authorization, digital signature. Digital signature is mandatory for your companies. GST benefits. Already you have learned actually the advantages of GST, benefits of GST both are same. The first one, higher threshold limit for registration. Eliminate the cascading. There is a common answer. As I am telling from the session 1 also, cascading means what? It avoids double taxation. So, this is one of the major answer. Simple and easy online procedure. Number of compliances is lesser. Defined treatment for e-commerce operator. Improved efficiency. Unorganized sector is regulated under GST. These are the major benefits of GST. The next one, the most important one, as I told you, your 15-mark question. The logic is very simple. You should add everything except excluding all the taxes we should not consider. Again, I'll repeat, all the taxes we should not consider. Any subsidy from the government we should not consider. These two always remember. Then what we will add? Selling price. We should add advertising, publicity, design, packing, service, freight, loading. Less discount. Discount, if there are any, we have to minus, you will get a transaction value. Then you have to add all the GST, then you will get a value of supply. We'll go with problem number 1. From the following information, compute value of supply. Selling price of the supply, advertising, add, design and development, add, packing charges, add, loading charges, add. After adding everything, allowed discount is 10%. Add everything minus 10%. Discount, your final answer on that 18% tax. Simple one. See, the selling price of supply 2,50,000. Add advertisement, design, packing, loading. After adding everything, you will get 3,43,000. Less discount 10%. 10%, it is how much? Around 25. Remember, 10% discount always on selling price. Hope you are clear. Calculate 10%, you will get 25,000. 343 minus 25, you will get 3,18,000. From that, CGST, SGST. If you add this, your answer is 3,75,240. Hope you are clear. So, add everything. As I told you, excluding tax, excluding subsidy from government. Add everything. Less discount, whatever given, discount should be calculated on this value. Your final answer, you have to add your tax. Tax you have to split CGST and SGST. We'll go to problem number 2. In this, compute the transaction value of goods under GST Act from the following information. Selling price of the supply, 8 lakh, advertisement, add design development, add publicity, add packing charges, add service charges, add freight charges, add loading charges, add. Simple one. Allow discount 10% of the price. 10% on what? On your selling price, 8 lakh. After that, you have to calculate tax 12. 12 means what? 6% and 6% you are supposed to calculate. See your answer, 8 lakh. Advertising, design, publicity, packing, service, freight, loading. Add everything. 10% discount on this minus, you will get 9,80,000. 6%, 6% on this, 1,17,000. Add, your final answer is 10,97,600. This is all about your supply, value of supply. And the third one, all the problems are simple, easy. Now, cost of machinery excluding taxes is 10 lakh. Installation add, secondary add, design is add, cost of material supply add, pre-delivery inspection add, loading charges add, discount 3% on cost of machinery, essentials bought out, accessories supplied along with the machinery valued at 30,000 bought at the goods. So there is an addition, and are taxed 5% and GST is 18%. See, in this tax is included, you have to remove the tax as I told you. Now, if you come to your answer, your selling price, installation, secondary packing, design, cost of materials supplied by customer, pre-delivery inspection, loading, accessories. We have added everything. Then your total, you got 12,63,000. Then discount 3% on this 30,000. You will get this answer. Add CGST, SGST. You will get 2,23,000. The final answer will be 14,55,613. Yeah. So we'll go with one more problem. The fourth problem. Venkatesh Associates, Bangalore supplied. See, the value is 40,000 per ton. This is very important. How many tons are there? 50. Don't go with 40,000. 40,000 into 50, that will be your selling price. You have to be very careful. Freight, packing, weighing, cost of instrument produced, insurance, loading, cost of delivery, inspection, pre-delivery, subsidy received from the state government. I'll come back to this. Date of invoice issued, date of payment, it will not matter. Then compute the value of taxable supply. The discount is not mentioned. 18% is the tax rate. So 9% plus 9% you are supposed to calculate. Now come to your answer. Selling price and freight, packing, weighing charges, cost of instrument, insurance, loading, pre-delivery. See, have they taken subsidy? No. Why? Because subsidy from whom? Government. Other than government, if you are receiving subsidy, that is also part of your value of supply. Add everything, you will get 7,12,000. For that, add 18% tax, 9%, 9%. This answer, add the final answer is 32,160,000. Yeah. So this is all about your value of supply. Hope you are clear. In today's session, we discussed about the meaning of value of supply, GST, benefits, registration procedure, documents for registration, and related party, mixed supply, composite supply, and problems on value of goods. Now, so in the next session, we'll do more problems on composition, mixed, and time value of money, time value of supply, format on time of supply. These are the major topics we are supposed to learn actually. Whatever we are doing from today, it is your question paper. Assume that it is your question paper. Why? Because the same kind of problem, only numbers will change, the names will change, but similarity is more than 90%. The GST advantage is what we do, the same thing you can expect in your examination. Thank you.